Luckily, we have the good taste to bring tonight's guest back. Every season, he is as uncensored a wit as they come. His new sitcom, The Norm Show, is on ABC Wednesdays at 9:30. Please welcome George Wendt, ladies and gentlemen.
They thought they were getting...
Georgie Wendt! Norby!
How you doing, man?
How are you?
I'm all right. How's it going?
Year in, year out, my favorite guest.
All right, you're a good man.
Because you have no inner barometer of how far to go.
Well, no, because it's HBO. I like to be dirty, you know, and it's fun.
You know what you are? You're like a profane child. That's how I think of you, because you always say, I like to be dirty. Then you go up on this Pynchon-esque cock rant for like 3 minutes. Yeah, cocks are ugly, and Joe Campbell's a cock, and you're always shuffling your feet. What are you nervous about? You're a star, for Christ's sake. How's that sitcom world? Is that hell, or do you like that over there?
It's not a lot of fun, but, you know, it's good to do.
No, it's not on Ohlmeyer's. Has Ohlmeyer sent you a congratulatory telegram, or what word am I looking for there?
Ohlmeyer, I haven't heard any missive, I think.
Who's the Ohlmeyer at your network?
This lady, Jamie Tarsis.
She think you're funny?
Yeah.
Ohlmeyer's not even there anymore, isn't it? Isn't the one of his last official duties to whack you?
Yeah, he took off, and they got this other guy, I think it's maybe Sammy Sosa.
Scott Sassa.
Scott Sassa.
All right, now I'm going to do a Rorschach thing. What flashes into your mind when I say bad taste? What do you find bad taste?
Well, there was this performance art guy, I remember in New York, that his whole big thing was he'd take a picture of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and then...
Oh, that's Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then his whole act is he'd piss on it with his cock.
Wow, you know, at least he showed respect. He could have pissed with his, what, arm?
Oh, you're right. So I thought that was really and horribly bad
taste. That's over the line, as far as...
Yeah, because Jesus Christ, you know, he died for the guy's sin, and then the guy pisses on his picture. And it was a picture of Jesus dying for his sins. Like he was on the cross going, oh, I'm dying for the guy's sins. And then this guy's like pissing all over it. But, you know, when Judgment Day comes, he's going to have to face Jesus Christ of Almighty of Nazareth, you know.
And Jesus is going to say, hey, asshole, what's with the peeing on my picture?
Yeah. That negates every other good thing he ever did, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't piss on my picture.
Yeah. You don't want to come up to the gates of heaven, God's leaning there with a nunchuck strapped around his neck, you know. How do you
go, I'll have some performance art for you while the fucking devil shoves some coal up your ass.
As I said before, the childlike outro, but effective. How do you define bad taste? Is it like beauty? Is it in the eye of the beholder, or what?
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, it depends on what people... Some people, like, get all upset over certain words. Like, they think that... Like, girls all the time, man, when I'm talking to them, like, if I go, hey, how about you and I, like, fuck, you know? and then the girl always goes, like, I don't fuck, I make love. I make love. And I go, I don't care, whatever you want to call it, as long as my dirty cock's involved, you know? I don't care. I'm not going to get in a semantic argument. You know, you can call it making a grilled cheese sandwich as long as there's a lot of me doing that
kind of thing. Now, what's the earliest into a hitting on a woman that you've ever said, I want to fuck you? Like you give it a couple minutes, right?
I try to get into it pretty quick. You know?
Throw that trump card down. No, if you're in the game.
I don't, because I don't like. I don't ever ask them to. Would you like to have dinner? I don't really like having dinner with them. or having a drink with them or anything like that.
No.
You know,
So that's your sort of exchange with women is...
Yeah, I say, hey, how about you and me fucking? And they go, no. And then they go, how about we have dinner? And I go, I don't like dinner, you don't like fucking.
So it's a pretty basic thing you have with women. Kind of a basic exchange.
I'm not good with girls.
When do you remember first being cognizant of bad taste? You know, because when you're a little kid, everything's kind of funny. You know, like farting is explosively funny.
Right.
When do you remember first being able to differentiate between bad taste and good taste?
I know when you're a kid, you'll say anything. Like, I don't remember much, but I have a little boy, you know, a sweet little boy.
You have a son?
Yeah, he's a
Norm,
good boy.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
Ah, you want to say hey to him?
Yeah, hey, well, you
he can't watch this show. That's what I always say. You can't watch Daddy.
Right. So little Dylan and I went to El Pollo Loco. Yeah.
His original name was Zimmerman, though, right?
I thought that would be the coolest name as I was a kid. I never heard anybody named Dylan. I said, this will be because I love Dylan Thomas.
Right.
So I said, this will be a cool name for a kid, and I thought it'd be unique, and now every fucking kid is Dylan. And they named him after that 90210 guy. Can you imagine? That's what I read in a not a book, but a periodical. So anyway, little Dylan and I were getting some chicken at the Pollo Loco.
Right.
And kids are so wonderful, you know that.
Unfiltered.
They're unfiltered, exactly. Yes. So we're standing beside this huge fat broad, you know. And so
not as unfiltered as Daddy, but unfiltered.
So me and little Dylan are behind her, and he goes, Daddy, look how fat she is. And then so I had not said, you're not supposed to call fat people fat to him, so it wasn't his fault. So I said, no, Dylan, shit, enough with that. And he goes, I bet she's going to eat a lot of chicken. I bet. It was really funny because everybody was looking at her. And then right at that moment, the guy goes, yes, ma'am, what would you like? And she was like, I'll have 2 pieces of chicken. You know, she was going to order like 8 full whole chickens, you know.
Well, how do you know that?
Yeah. How do I know that?
Yeah, maybe she wasn't going to order 8 full chicken.
No,
maybe she was...
because right when she ordered the 2 chickens, she did like the shifty eye, you know? I don't do a good shifty eye.
So you're behind her in line and yet able to discern the subtle REM-like movements of her eyeballs.
You got me on that one, man. I made that part up.
You don't even have a son!
For the purposes of that anecdote, I am not Darren.
I thought you were going to be quick and say, it was Linda Blair! We got a phone call for you, believe it or not. Fat woman from El Pollo Loco. No. It's Murtaugh from Miami, Florida. Murtaugh!
Hey, Dennis. Hey, Norm.
How are you, Mert?
I'm good. You know, I can't wait to see your new show. It really looks good.
Oh, yeah?
Wait, when's it on again, Normie? Remind me. You're one of my friends. I'll let you plug capriciously.
Okay, it's on
oh, come on, you gotta get this. Huh?
When is it on?
Are you in it?
Yes. It's on Wednesday at 9:30 on the American Broadcasting Corporation.
All right. So, what's your question there, Mert?
Okay, why is it people like this annoying Joan Rivers, you know, always criticize people's bad taste at the Academy Awards, you know, like Gwyneth Paltrow, who's like the hottest chick on earth. And, well, she has no taste in fashion whatsoever, you know, man? I mean, God.
Well, I don't. You know what? I feel awkward here because I met Joan Rivers once and she was so nice to me and so funny. But I agree with him to some extent when she gets like lays into Kathy Bates or say, you know, Kathy Bates never did anything wrong by her. And I just think there's that slight tinge of desperation in Joan sometimes nowadays, you know, that she'll say anything and that kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes that makes me uncomfortable. But, you know, she's a good dame and she does a great show there.
I hate slamming other celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Remember when Spade did that, how he lived his life in fear?
To Eddie?
Well, to Eddie, you know, to Eddie specifically,
people, right?
but Spade used to do that Hollywood moment. Spade, he's a great guy, he's one of our best friends, but he was always scared shitless because he made his whole thing out there just trashing people, and they would get pissed and call him, and he was always like living in fear. He never goes to Hollywood parties because he's afraid somebody's going to kick his little Sputnik ass.
Right, because everybody he insults is like 2.5 feet taller than him.
Now, Norm, have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco, and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'll do.
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son." You know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know, it's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know. A first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and oh yeah, he loves cock. You know? This kid, he can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass. This kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff. It's beautiful to see you comfortable in your own skin, Normie. All right. The Norm Show, 9:30. What night? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
ABC. Good luck with it. Norm MacDonald. Stick around, Norm, to do the news. Norm MacDonald, ladies.